us, consuming all we know. Homes and dreams turn to ashes as the wildfires grow. Innocence caught in the crossfire, and ancient battles gain. Power plays in shadows, fueling the unending flame. Order out of chaos is what they say we need, but behind the smoke and mirrors, deception plants its seed. What's the truth? What's the lie? In the inferno's light, we know the difference in this eternal fight. Gorgeous beauty tarnished by a firestorm's cruel hand. Businesses in ruins, scorched earth where they stand. Blame it on the weather, claim it's just a natural burn. But those who pull the strings know there's more for us to learn. Order out of chaos is what they say we need, but behind the smoke and mirrors, deception plants its seed. What's the truth? What's the lie? In the inferno's light, we know the difference in this eternal fight. The earth cries out, a silent plea for peace. The war of power rages on, when will it cease? In the ashes lies the truth we seek to find. A world reborn with clear vision in mind. Order out of chaos is what they say we need, but behind the smoke and mirrors, deception plants its seed. What's the truth? What's the lie? In the inferno's light, we know the difference in this eternal fight. Stop hurting our natural world. Defend her, she is our home. Let the song be a call, let the message ring. Our world is perfect, let Mother Nature sing. Order out of chaos is what they say we need, but behind the smoke and mirrors, deception plants its seed. But we know it's clear as
Hey, welcome. And I know many of you have wanted to hear that all week, including myself. The show, it's hey. Oh man, it's good to be back. So glad to see all the smiling faces jumping on. Make sure y'all share this out. Share the love. We got a message tonight that's going to drill home the Last Dance. Okay, the Ring of Fire is back alive. I'm going to show you in just a minute. A little bit about the Ring of Fire that poised itself in California sky this morning. And you know, it's been a week. You know, we've had to all fend for ourselves. We've all had to fend for ourselves, and you know, there's been a lot going on for a lot of people. A lot of people standing up. A lot of people fighting a good fight and doing the UCC codes, and you know, and also using their voice chakra to be heard on social media. They're not going to hear it no more. We're tired of all of the U.S. Corp and their bad actors. We just had enough. They need to go. Shit or get off the pot, somebody, right? and I know we're definitely shitting, right? I don't know how to tell you. The proverbial doo-doo is going to hit the fan if we had to start slinging it ourselves. With that being said, I'm so glad to be back. Please share this out tonight. As you can see, this is extremely rare fire solar halo spotted during sunrise this morning in California. What a pretty sight, huh? What a pretty sight. Look at that. Wow. And guys, does that not look like a retina to you? Sheepdog, I gotta ask, does that not look like a retina to you? You see how the outer edges are blue? Everybody's retina every human being's retina is blue, by the way. Everybody, I learned this.
Yeah, it sure does.
Over this past week.
Looks like an eyeball.
Yeah, it looks like an eyeball. Exactly does, doesn't it? Sure does.
Sun is looking at us.
Yeah, somebody bring me the picture of the eyeballs. Can y'all hear me in there? I'm trying to get my crowd to bring me the picture of the eyeballs. We had pictures of our eyeballs taken. It's pretty wild the way it turned out. It's kind of like a family thing. We did it. As soon as I get somebody to bring it to me, I'll show everybody. Hello? Can I get the picture of the eyeballs?
Hey, cheating! Get us a picture of the balls, the hairy eggs.
The hairy eggs, right? Here, hand it here. This is all of us that live here in the same household's picture. Oh. Huh?
Your camera's on.
I know my camera's not on. I don't know if you can see it, or not, but look, that's all four of us. Is there a glare? Can y'all see it okay?
No, it looks good.
Yeah, there's a little glare, but we can see it. Yeah.
Yep.
It looks
right.
like those.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I thought of when I saw it when I first started sharing it with y'all tonight. You know, that's exactly what I thought of. That one that's real deep blue right there, that's mine.
Yeah.
And then my wife is next to it, and it's still blue. Everybody's retina is blue at its core.
Right.
And this is a core shot of your eyeball, right into your pineal gland.
Yep.
And then my daughter's there is last with a hint of the burst of yellow there. It's beautiful, isn't it? My wife's is beautiful with all that steady green in it, with the blue. It's pretty awesome.
That is.
And then we got this picture right here that Rod and them posted.
Hold on, let me.
It looks like a CD.
There you
Oh, yeah. I'll see if I can't.
Ring of Fire.
I stopped sharing by accident, folks. Yeah, I'll bring up the Ring of Fire.
Yep.
Well, I keep clicking the wrong button.
Yeah.
There we go. So this right here was the California sunrise this morning. A rare extremely rare solar flare, solar halo spot. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it is. That's crazy.
But now that I look at it, I can see the concaveness of the eyeball. It definitely looks like an eyeball, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's the Ring of Fire. And it burns, burns, burns. The Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire. I just wanted to start out tonight sharing that with you. Thought that was a pretty cool message, and then get it on here and actually see it on the screen. I go, wait a minute, that looks like an eyeball. And you know, when we had that picture made, we learned about our eyeball. Everybody's eyeball at its core, the retina is blue. All human beings. That's how we know we got all our blood's been mixed up too. So everybody knows. All right, so our message tonight is going to start out kind of soft. We're going to bring up. I'm going to play this 1 minute segment of Chief Warhorse's video where she's addressing the racial equity initiative at the Kellogg's Foundation. Okay. 10 years ago. This was posted 10 years ago, folks. Or was it? Yeah, no, let me see here. November of 2022, excuse me. All right, not 10 years ago. But I'm sure she probably said it 10 years ago too. But I want everybody to hear this. They call this particular function America Healing. In 2022, a racial equity initiative of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Okay. And what she has to say here is really, really awesome. So just check it out. And then it's only 1 minute and 5 seconds, and we'll get to the next part.
All glory to the Creator. It's an honor to be here today. But I love being American. Well, first, let's think about something. Where did America come from? Have it always been America? Or was it just created to be America? Who are the real Americans?
You got a volume on that, Mike?
Changing and changing and changing.
It's as loud as it'll go, sheepdog.
Can you put the captions on?
Yeah, no worries.
All glory go to the Creator. It's an honor to be here today. But I love the theme, American healing. Well, first, let's think about something. Where did America come from? Have it always been America? Or was it just created to be America? Who are the real Americans? America keep changing and changing and changing. Let's go back in time when the American Indians looked like I look and roamed the southeast part of the United States. We have to tell the truth. We cannot heal America till we fix the foundation. Can we start right there?
Life is full.
All right. So we can't heal America until we fix the foundation, right? All right. Hey guys, this was in 2022. Here it is, 2025. We're in the alleged 6th month. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, we're in the alleged 6th month. There was another shooting in, I guess, Colorado today or yesterday. I missed it. I missed it out on any of it. When was it?
It's on there live right now. It's they got the whole crisis. I mean, the whole scene playing
Okay.
out in Boulder. You know where they always have those issues at in Boulder.
In Boulder,
Just-
Colorado. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Boulder, Colorado. Okay. Well, it's the same scenario that the shaman's going to speak about in the DC shooting over Gaza and the live Western end. He's got some hard truth here coming at you now. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you, anybody that is, and I'm not telling you not to follow Donald Trump and not to follow Pete Hegseth and all of them clowns, if that's what you want to do. But I'm telling you, it's not going to serve you. And it's all coming to a head. Okay. This was posted 10 days ago on the Gaza shooting. And now here we are in Boulder, Colorado, and another PSYOP is possibly playing out, or so on and so forth. Listen to the 7-minute video here of the shaman. He just tells it like it is. Much like we do here at True Seekers on the DC shooting, and it applies to all the shootings. He talks about the school shootings. He talks about it all. In 7 minutes, he just unloads on them. Enough's enough, right? We got.
So yes, there was a German Israeli who worked at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Him and his girlfriend died apparently from a shooting in D.C. and the alleged shooter shouted "Free Palestine" while he was being arrested at the scene. Now, obviously, there's going to be conspiracy theories about this, about it being potentially a false flag operation and so forth, since Israel is increasingly losing Western support and Netanyahu is more desperate than he has ever been to try to save himself from imminent self-destruction. So it's not implausible. But in my opinion, unless and until there's real evidence to the contrary, then the explanation for the shooting should just be accepted. The obvious, apparent explanation should be accepted. It was probably a lone gunman who was probably politically motivated, just like Luigi Mangione. And murder is a very American problem-solving instinct. We're almost 600 days into the demonic genocide in Gaza being perpetrated by Israel and by the United States. That's 50 months of wanton, inhuman carnage playing out on everyone's smartphones, on everyone's social media platforms. It's the most documented, the most visible, the most seen genocide in history. Israeli troops just shot at European diplomats just a day or so ago. There are daily massacres in Gaza. And Netanyahu has declared his explicit desire to completely wipe out the Palestinians in the most unequivocal language that any of us has heard since Hitler. And Donald Trump has signaled his absolute endorsement of ethnic cleansing. And at the same time, he's inventing allegations of ethnic cleansing against South Africa and pretending to be outraged about it. Look, you can't impose this kind of cognitive dissonance, this kind of hypocrisy, this kind of extreme moral and mental sadism on your population and not have some fuses short circuit, especially when your population is already habituated to violence and they're already disproportionately suffering from mental and psychological illnesses across the population. And they're already under enormous tension and pressure regarding their own economic situation. I mean, Americans are barely holding on to their sanity as it is. Your whole society seems like it's a social engineering project to see how much gaslighting, how much emotional abuse, and how much dysfunction human beings can be forced to take before they either implode or explode. You've banned people from boycotting. You crack down on protests. You jail and deport protesters. You're basically steering people towards violence. That whole government, the American government, the whole government is acting like those FBI agents who coax and conspire and entrap people in violent plots of their own making. You punish all peaceful means of protest, and then you escalate in the policies that are being protested. And like I said, you do nothing but teach violence to your people all day, every day, in your media, in your music, in your movies, in your games, and in your whole approach to the world. So how do you think that's going to turn out? How are you going to be telling your own people that a genocidal war criminal is a brave man and give him standing ovations and give him billions upon billions of your people's money precisely to continue committing crimes against humanity and not expect them to learn the lesson that lawless violence is legitimate, especially when you have blatantly showed them that diplomacy doesn't work, economic pressure doesn't work with you, opinion doesn't work with you, the law doesn't work with you, no legal means, no diplomatic means, no economic means, no popular means, no peace peaceful means can ever dislodge your fangs from the people of Gaza. Well, I think you want to drive people into desperation, to do desperate acts, precisely so that you can crack down on them even more. So you can double down and act even worse than you've already been acting all this time. And then you're going to grandstand now about how outrageous the shooting was in Washington, D.C., who got shot in Washington, D.C. over just the last week or so. But those were just senseless killings, so that's fine. But this one had symbolism. This one can be exploited for political reasons. So now you care. Now your ideological mourning kicks in. Now the headlines can stretch across the continents. Now the hand-wringing can begin about the dangers of radicalization and hate speech and anti-Semitism and so forth. But let's be honest, this isn't grief, it's an opportunity. It's not outrage, it's leverage. The truth is, man, how many mass school massacres, how many African Americans are killed by the police and nothing moves the needle? But you let one bullet fly in the direction of your imperial narrative and suddenly the whole machinery comes to life. Suddenly the think tanks are drafting policy briefs. Suddenly Congress is passing resolutions. Suddenly terrorism is back on the menu. And all of it, of course, pointing in one. This isn't about one shooting. This is about silencing 600 days of justified outrage and about criminalizing sympathy with the victims of genocide. It's about shutting down the voices that refuse to pretend that Israel is the victim. And yes, if it turns out that it was a false flag, and again, I'm not saying that it was, but if it was, it wouldn't be the first time, and it wouldn't be shocking. Because for a regime that is founded on myth and maintained by deception, staging another scene would just be par for the course. Because that's what you do. You know, that's what you do when your survival depends upon manufacturing moral capital from corpses. That's what you do when your legitimacy is completely bankrupt and the only currency you have left is fear. But whether this was orchestrated or not, one thing is clear, it was inevitable. Not because people are inherently violent, no, but because your entire system has systematically blocked every nonviolent path. Because your entire society has been primed, or has been cultivated for cruelty. Because for 600 days, you have demanded that the world watch a live-streamed genocide and then cheer for the murderers. You've made empathy a crime. You've made protest. You've made justice unreachable. And now you want to cry foul when your own citizens finally break under the weight of your lies. No, you don't get to play victim now. You don't get to cry terror when you're the ones who have institutionalized terror financially, militarily, psychologically, economically in every corner of this planet. You don't get to moralize about violence when you send hellfire missiles against tents. You don't get to quote Martin Luther King when you ban students from even saying free Palestine. You don't get to invoke the sanctity of life when you funded the desecration of life for nearly 2 straight years with no remorse. If you want peace, then stop blocking the path to peace. If you want nonviolence, then stop criminalizing nonviolence. If you want to stop the spread of hate, then stop building your empire on hate. Because what you're seeing now in America, what you just saw in Washington, D.C., whether it was real or orchestrated, that's not the disease, that's the symptom. The disease is you, is your so-called civilization. And until you stop infecting the world with your moral rot, then you can't be shocked when that sickness comes home.
Now,
Let's see. I have to ask everybody. Okay, there was a discussion going on about the U.S. citizen. All right, and the state ID, right, or the ID, not the state ID, but the ID that the federal government's pushing and been pushing for a while now.
It's the real one, not the fake one.
Yeah, the real one.
Yeah, the real ID.
Yeah, the real ID. Yeah, as if there is such a thing that could come from them, right?
It's always
at any rate.
You got to think mirror with them, like that big
That's
beautiful.
right.
I mean, big shit bill.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter who it is either. That's the point I want to get across. It don't matter which one of them saying it. I mean, you can go all the way down the totem pole. It's not till you get towards the bottom of the totem pole that you find the real people. Everybody in between is not real. They're there, just like he said, because they're part of the problem. They're part of the symptom. I'm not saying everyday Americans are the problem, but if we keep giving in to this shit, we have no other choice but to start saying we're the problem. Citizen equals slave. Exactly. Truth be told. So this video right here was real good. The Sheepdog shared as well. They shared both those with me earlier today, as well. But this one they shared right here was really good too, and it talks about the ID. This guy right here, and talks about it all right here. I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, Sheepdog will not steal anything from you tonight.
Yeah, that real ID keeps
Do I know?
the real ID keeps us safer than the other ID, apparently.
Right. Right. But folks, we just need to leave it and let it burn itself down. I mean, make it go away. If we stop participating, guess what they have to do? Nobody's escaped any of this without accountability. Accountability was built into justice, and all that was built into creation at the onset of creating of all things, including you and I. You can't escape it. It's built in. It's a natural happening. If you take a life, somewhere along the line, you're going to pay for it. If you rape a child, somewhere along the line, you're going to pay for it. And God forbid any of us find out about it and we can put our hands on you, because we've had enough. We want the children safe, okay? But we know it ain't going to come from the government. You know, the Child Protective Services have ramped their services up on their way out more than they did before. They're knocking on people's doors trying to take children from their homes even more right now than they have before. I'm telling you, folks, they're on your doorstep. Don't let them get away with it anymore. They have no authority. I'm working with a lady who has a case where they want to decide custody as a grandparent. I said, you don't need them to decide custody for you. You need to write them a letter and tell them you took care of the matter. They have no jurisdiction and no standing to do so otherwise. And if they show up at your house, just call the sheriff. If the sheriff wants to let them in, then, call everybody, record it, because we will put it on blast. There's no more. We're standing up. No more allowing good people to come to the fork in the road and get hung on something like the 14th Amendment. Sorry, it's not going to happen. I'm not picking on anybody. If you don't know by now, the 14th Amendment isn't for you. It's for them. And it was never fully ratified anyway.
Yeah, we're not a party to the Constitution. They are.
Exactly. Our name's not on the bottom of it. They are. Theirs are. Their family names and all are on the bottom of it. The freaking crooks, corrupt clown, evil bastards. This is our fight, folks. It's time we start acting like it. All of you that are trying to live your daily lives like nothing's happening and hoping that it gets taken care of, you're going to get your lesson. So you need to wake up to it, start standing up to it now. I talk to people every weekend. Every weekend. I talk to people in person, face to face, that knows the things that we talk about and can verify them for themselves. Yet still, they want to live their daily life like nothing's going on and waiting to see what happens. What's going to happen is you're going to end up homeless. Your child's going to end up in an orphanage of pedophiles, led by pedophiles, and trafficked all over the world. What's going to happen is you're going to pay taxes until you can't pay, till you have to quit your job because you're paying out more than you can take than you're taking in. Someone said in the chat earlier today, people who have had no problems making ends meet can't make ends meet right now, and it's the first time ever in their life that they've had that problem. And then there's people who out there who have the big old credit score as a badge of honor, the big old credit score on their breastplate as their badge of honor, who keep whipping out credit cards to make ends meet. And think everything is great because they can get more credit. No, they're just becoming more and more slaves. What's going to happen when it's just a few of them, when it's just like 30% of the population that's paying those fraudulent bills and taxes and stuff? Are they going to come looking at us that said, hey, we've had enough. Y'all can take that shit and shove it? Or are they going to start looking at them? The ones that did it to them, or is it going to be too late? They're going to be all caught up in their freedom cities that ain't so free. Those are for-profit centers on death. That's what the freedom cities are. I don't know. I mean, it's the only way to put it. It's a for-profit corporation operating as a freedom city.
FEMA, Mike.
Do what?
FEMA cities. I mean, you said freedom.
Right.
Yeah, FEMA, same thing. Again,
Robin, right. Yeah. Robin, we do got this, but it's time for we do quit saying it and start doing it. That's what I'm talking about. We have to stop talking about it and start doing it. We got this. We don't need violence. Listen to this constitutional hillbilly right here. Wait a minute.
Well, if you came up while you're getting that ready, Mike, if you came up in the struggle, then this is going to be a cakewalk for you. So you know how to minimize it and get through. So that's a plus.
Absolutely. Folks, we're gonna struggle a little bit with this. People who have lived on paycheck to paycheck understand that. People who have not lived paycheck to paycheck aren't going to understand that very well for a while. Yeah, what they're doing is manufactured looting. That's exactly right. Check out the constitutional hillbilly on the ID. Well, I ain't got no sound. Sheepdog, can you play it?
All you U.S. citizens, constitutional hillbilly here. Trump is paying you to deport yourself right now. Hillbilly here. Trump is paying you to deport. All you U.S. citizens, constitutional hillbilly here. Trump is paying you to deport yourself right now. You need to go down. Say you're a U.S. citizen. Take your birth certificate and get your $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Become an American. Get deported, ladies and gentlemen. If you were born in America, get deported, and you pledge allegiance to the fucking flag, and you pledge allegiance to the fucking flag, go deport yourself, dude. You've been unlawfully tricked into being a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. Go deport yourself. He's giving you away back to the Republic. He's giving you away back to the Republic if you can fucking understand it. The sheriff's I already get mine up by the sheriff's $1,000, or I don't turn myself the fuck, or I don't turn myself the fuck straight in. Go deport yourself. Be an American. Come on, Pete. Fuck the U.S. government. Be an American. The corporation that it is. And the corporation that it is.
So
because hold on,
I was an F-bomb, yeah.
did that echo
Make no
on your
mistake, it was echoing a little bit and then rubber banding a little bit.
Oh, here it was probably this. Yeah, it was probably 'cause well, he said it twice.
Oh yeah, you were still playing through mine, weren't you? Yeah.
I think I got another one right here, real quick. Let me see if it's different. Let's see.
Constitutional Hillbilly here. Today we're going to talk about the Ninth Amendment. Okay, and the Ninth Amendment, the part about rights not listed but still held by the people. What do you think that actually means? Okay, so if you want to pursue it to something, jump back to the Declaration of Independence, paragraph 2. It says, "We hold these truths self-evident that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Now, the Ninth Amendment clearly states that the people have rights that are not listed in the Constitution. U.S. citizens under the 14th Amendment don't have that right. You've accepted the government as your creator. You agreed by taking the Social Security number and getting the ID. It's the mark of the beast. We are in end times. Hell on earth, and people are volunteering for it. But if the Ninth Amendment says that you have rights that are not listed, and you people can't even understand that you have rights that are listed, you do not qualify as the people. U.S. citizens are not the people. U.S. citizens was created under the 14th Amendment after the Civil War. Means that you was created by the creation that the people created. So, Constitutional Hillbilly here. Stay upright.
Boom, stay upright, he said.
Get off your knees.
Yep. Absolutely. And then I believe Mr. Sheepdog put in the Telegram chat. We'll put that so we can share it on all the platforms as well. The Trump administration self-deportation push offers $1,000 incentive for immigrants to leave U.S. All right. So, I mean, it is what it is, folks. Which part do you want to take in? You know, we've already had tons of people saying I'm not a U.S. citizen post, then duly noted. Okay. Denouncing their vote, any and all past votes and current. They're denouncing their, you know, anything to do with the United States corporation. It's all being denounced. We're all doing it. All right. Stand up for what you know, what you believe in. Okay. That is the message I wanted to get out with you tonight. And you know, I got a lot more to share, but I need to warm up to it a little bit more. It was upsetting today to see a set of people where I was at come in masked up, and I dealt with that some today. And anyway, not that I could do anything on their behalf, but you know, I spoke my mind, right? I mean, folks, we just got to start speaking up. That's really what it's all about. We just got to start speaking up. So he talked y'all into voting one more time. He talked a lot of people into voting, not y'all, but he talked a lot of people into voting one last time, right? and now he's offering them all $1,000 incentive to for immigrants to leave the U.S. Isn't that special? You're not chosen because someone or something chose you. That's a psyop. You're chosen because when the world stayed quiet, you spoke louder. When the world stopped moving, you sped up. And when the refused, you knew something wasn't right and did. That's my theme for today, folks. Love you all. Go ahead, Sheepdog. Thank you so much. Glad to be back. I got tons more to share. Oh, I got a lovely picture of Pee Wee German from Sheepdog. Pee Wee German.
Goddamn Pee Wee German right there. Look at old Pee Wee. He'd deport half America if he could.
Damn Stephen Miller. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. It's all you, Sheepdog.
Pee Wee German's all white. He's all white. Let me
He's all white.
he's all white. Let me so we got a lot of stuff taking place here in Texas. They're canceling everything. Everything that Trump did, the 2018 Farm Bill, they're reversing all that.
The THC.
With the THC and everything like that. Come to find out, these people are pretty much taking money from big pharma, private prisons, law enforcement, cartels, et cetera, et cetera. We had a neighborhood here north of Houston that had a bunch of people on it. They bought several hundred acres and put those people on there. Come to find out, those were all big donors of our politicians here in Texas. Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, et cetera, et cetera. They're just taking money. They're not listening to the people, and they don't care about what's good for us. They care about what's good for them and what benefits them in the long run. Because of their greed, it's going to be so the battle's pretty much cranking up here in Texas. The Republicans have now become the Democrats, and the Democrats have now become the Republicans, if you want to look at it that way here in Texas. But again, if you're a Trump supporter, and that should piss you off that these people are showing, well, it shouldn't piss you off. It should be grateful that they're showing themselves, revealing themselves who they really serve, and it's not, the people, the Texans here in Texas. So
It's all an agenda.
It's all an agenda. But I'm gonna play a clip right here, and she's gonna expose some things here in Texas. About a 3-minute clip. But keep in mind, big pharma and those pain pills and stuff like that. That's what they want you on. They don't want you doing the THC plants, herbs, or anything like that, because it takes billions of dollars out of their pockets, and it's something that can be we can grow ourselves and stuff like that, and it's not good for business.
Are you sure that we avoided a situation with the legislation and the deal that we made with docs up there?
I'm totally confident. That's why everyone said in the beginning, well, how come the Senate's not dealing with chronic pain? Because we wanted to spend time. Tom happens to be my next door neighbor.
Now I get it. Now, the Republicans, Tom Oliverson and our friend Dan Patrick are neighbors, y'all. They're neighbors.
We spent hours and hours talking about this.
I'm sure you did, with a nice cold one on the back porch.
But all bills don't pass like that.
Oh, we know. You strong-arm lawmakers and hold bills hostage to get them to pass.
People say, this stuff has helped me. So your message to those individuals in regards to this chronic pain deal, is that going to solve
people who have true chronic pain as described under the Medical Practices Act are going to have real help, as Tom Oliverson would say, and he's thumbs up over there. He's the last guy that wants to see, and he's a pain doctor.
And are we really supposed to be able to trust this pain doctor's opinion when most of them do not have education on this unless they're actual certified doctors And obviously this guy, Tom Oliverson, is not. So for him to be giving advice on how to do this program, I don't think is the best person we're getting our education from, alongside his neighbor, where they were just hanging out on the weekends.
He's a pain doctor. He brought the amendment to ban all of this. He doesn't want to see people.
Oh, really?
He doesn't want to. Charles said you can't self-medicate yourself at a gasoline station or at a smoke shop.
My neighbor, Tom Oliverson, who is a pain doctor, that brought the amendment for Senate Bill 3. He really cares. My neighbor. My neighbor.
You can't do that. You don't know whether you're 40 or 14. You have no idea what you're doing to your body and to your mental health. One last question.
Last question. Did you get your education from those gas stations? I just want to set the record straight that yes, the gas stations, of course you don't know what you're getting, and I think the entire industry wants the regulation on that. But some of the smoke shops, the ones that are doing it right, they are helping educate and helping you know what's going in your body. And sad to say, because the way our medicine works, we don't have doctors that we can depend on. We have to go to these people, the good shops, the ones that you can trust, the ones that have COAs, the ones that have documentation. They're the ones that can help educate you in the proper way, not the Dan Patrick way, spitting lies and propaganda.
Boom. So Dan Patrick said it's for the kids' safety of the children, but yet
And adults.
But mainly, most importantly, he tried to put the kids out there as that they're really trying to protect the kids from being harmed, but yet they didn't have a problem with the COVID vaccines going in the arms of children
Or anything else.
or any other thing like that. So that's all bullshit. And the veterans are stepping up. They're probably going to end up getting sued. And they're expecting that to take place. It's going to be a battle. But again, they're undoing the 2018 Farm Bill, in which Trump made it all legal. But
Which is going to affect a lot of businesses, small businesses.
So yeah, we're going to lose a lot of small businesses here, and billions of dollars of jobs that were created, as well as a cheaper, more healthier way of treating pain, chronic pain, maybe sleep, all kinds of issues that plant and other plants help with, and especially in the veteran community with PTSD, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing in Big Pharma that helps with that, with those issues. So what's taking place is pretty awesome, but they definitely turned up the tyranny here. I mean, the shit show. They're banning, what all they're banning? They're banning stupid things like.
Well, they had a checkpoint in Galveston.
Yeah.
They were checking to see if you had a driver's license or a tag, and they were arresting you on spot. And they had some First Amendment auditors out there, which some of them got arrested themselves for even filming. Now they're trying to make it a federal crime to film a police interaction. So yeah, we have a battle here on a lot of issues.
Which I'm sure it's in a lot of states, especially Florida.
Yeah, Florida is like
Alabama.
the number one police state right now.
Yeah.
Particularly a problem here because of Western North Carolina.
Yeah. Alabama's turning into a police state. They did a Back the Blue bill here recently.
Yes.
Which sounds good to the bootlickers, Back the Blue, which is all propaganda.
Videos.
Because you don't know what the hell you're backing. But yeah, so a lot of people think we're going in reverse, and we kind of are, but at the same time, it's waking a lot of people up to the corruption and how these people operate and how they use propaganda to get things passed. It's crazy how fast things can happen when they want it to happen, and when they want to sweep things under the rug, they don't ever see the day of light. Right? When they want justice to be served, it can be served real quick when it comes to me and you, but when it comes to human trafficking and all these missing children, it's crickets. Right? Still, people are fighting over the fact of whether or not Epstein killed himself or not. That's all a distraction. I can give a shit less. What I want to know is who, the what, the when, the where, and the why these kids are and have gone to, and what all that entails. So you're really being distracted with this whole Dan Bongino and Crash Patel bullshit on Fox. Fox is nothing more than a fake news, MK Ultra, Mockingbird Media, military industrial complex arm of the mainstream media. So it's all bullshit, but people are tuned in like they're being informed, and the left and the right are fighting each other over.
I mean, are we the only one to notice that 95% of the Trump cabinet is 95% of the Trump cabinet is Fox News analysts?
Yes.
That's by design. That's to keep the Republicans tuned in because that's their favorite personalities. They just transferred it. Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? Well, the left is calling it out, Mike.
Yeah.
And I hate to say the left and the right but I have to, because so people can understand. But other Americans are calling it out. It's just that other Americans that don't agree with those Americans won't listen. It's like your favorite football team, right? You don't, if you're a Texans fan, you don't watch the New England Patriots broadcast, do you? and how their team's doing. You watch your
Not
own.
Generally.
Yeah. So you kind of to stay informed on your
you
team.
When you're a Cowboy fan like me, you don't watch Pittsburgh play it, right?
Yeah, you don't watch how the Pittsburgh. You don't want to know
unless the Cowboys are playing
Pittsburgh. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of how you got to look at it. That's kind of how you got to look at it. And another thing that's even crazier is, and this is kind of changing the subject a little bit, but not much. The hurricane season, right? It's being treated like the football season and the baseball season and the basketball season, right? And they had their draft name. They had their draft picks of names today.
Yeah.
So they had their draft picks of names today. I think Andrea's number one pick. Yeah, Hurricane Draft Day. So hurricane season started, folks. So they turned the hurricanes into like the baseball, basketball, football seasons. Today is the day one of hurricane season. They had the draft. They named the names. They drafted the names already. So number one pick, drum roll please, in the draft is Andrea. Hurricane Andrea, number one pick. Come on down. Number two pick, Barry. Number three pick, Chantel. Number four pick, Dexter. Number five pick, Aaron. Number six pick, Fernando. Number seven, Gabrielle. Number eight pick.
Hey, just so you know, guarantee you can find movies with these names in them.
Right.
Dexter is a new spin coming out on Dexter on Netflix.
Oh wow.
Next week.
Oh wow!
Imagine that, right? Dexter Resurrection is what it's called. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really focused on that number 11 pick.
Karen?
It's Karen.
Stop.
I think Karen's going to be a hellacious hurricane right there.
No offense to anyone.
Yeah, no offense to anyone named Karen.
That's
I'm
a
just
Maui
saying.
bitch.
Karen's
Maui
coming
bitch.
in. But the names are kind of like somebody from South America kind of put these names into play. Fernando, Humberto, Nestor, Olga. Pablo. Pablo Escobar's coming.
Tanya.
You got Tanya, Wendy, Van. So there's 21 picks in today's Hurricane draft season. 21 is blackjack. The Jesuit number is 201. Take the 0 out, 21. But
Yep.
and
Yep. COINTEL,
so-
right?
yeah. So you had DeSantis on the news today all day long talking about these hurricanes and the military and some other people talking about this year's hurricane season. So I'm expecting it to be kind of wild if we've seen how these tornadoes have been nonstop. I'm expecting there to be some pretty wild hurricanes this year. You're going to need to get your stuff ready, check your generators. Maybe have a plan to leave and go somewhere outside of the area if you can. All that ready to go and leave in advance. Don't wait until the day of because you're going to be sitting in traffic. I expect the gas to be an issue. Once the power goes out, they're not going to be able to deliver it just like they did last year. It's going to be days, if not a week or so before they even start getting the gas stations back up, et cetera, et cetera. So just be weather aware. Don't let these storms sneak up on you, especially now, even in the middle of central part of America. Be weather aware. Some of them are just popping up out of nowhere. There was some that popped that hit an Amish community the other day, early in the morning. Of course, I'm sure they didn't have a TV to know that anything was coming, but just be weather aware. Don't fear. Just be weather aware. Be ready. Have a plan, batteries, stuff like that. Just go ahead and get that going now, because they're not. And when you leave, be plan to stay away for a week or so. Let me go ahead and get cranked up on some other stuff here. Yeah, so they think removing the THC from the smoke shops is going to help the people, but it's the only thing it's going to do is help out the black market, the cartels make more money, and some of that's laced with things. It's going to help the prison systems, and law enforcement's now going to start smelling weed on everybody, and they're going to start locking more people up. That's all it is. It's all it is. It's one big conspiracy basically against the people. Let me let's see where we're at. So we did Constitutional Hillbilly. It says that cute little star on your real ID, yeah, it came at a cost that you didn't read. You didn't just apply for a new ID, you consented to create a new legal person, one that's governed, regulated, and granted privileges instead of rights. Inside the Real ID application are hidden terms that waive your inalienable rights, religious protections, and spiritual identity, all in exchange for regulated benefits under federal jurisdiction. You're not being recognized, you're being rewritten.
Recontracted.
So your religious protections that took place, y'all remember during COVID, how everybody was trying to do their religious protections to get out of the bios, jabs, right?
That's why they were denied.
Well, that's going to be denied if you try that again. If you got this ID, you understand, or you understand?
Yes, sir. Sure
So
do.
Yeah. So again,
Because you have no rights under the new ID.
right. So again, the whole scamdemic was just a precursor to see how we would react. And here comes
They kinda did it slick this time.
yeah, they did it slick. But this has been taking place since 2005. Trump just pretty much brought it forward in 2018. and you get the propaganda from the mainstream media. It's for your safety, your protection. If you got this ID, you're going to be much safer. Well, it's quite the
Go
opposite.
to the airport faster.
And you can get to the airport faster. I'd rather walk to where I'm going,
Drive.
or drive, or ride a bicycle or something.
Yeah.
Maybe go horseback.
Here soon, you won't want to drive.
I'd rather ride on a jackass than to fly. I'd rather ride a jackass cross country than fly.
Right.
If it means I'm going to lose all my rights and privilege. So screw all that. There we go. Let's go into.
Bro, Texas is tripping the fuck out. They banning everything. They banning sex toys. They banning fucking weed. They banning fucking social media for the kids. They banning every fucking thing. I think they're trying to make people move the fuck out of Texas. That's what.
Now you don't want to, they're not trying to make you move out of Texas. They're trying to make you fight.
Yeah.
So they're banning all kinds of stuff, like you said. Excuse the language. Some weird reason they're banning sex toys. I don't know where the hell that came from. THC, they're banning. You can't be under 18 and get on social media. So they're tightening it up because this dictatorship that they're trying to. It's all a lesson, really. That's what it looks like to me. You got to be able to feel it and understand what it's like to be in a dictatorship, and that's why you see everything taking place with Trump having the military tanks are now being shipped to DC right now
For the military parade.
for the military parade, just like they do in dictatorships. So
Xi Jinping did and Hitler did. They had that every year for their birthday.
right,
And Trump's birthday is right around that.
yeah.
And
So
they have never done that.
So today's June 1st. Happy June. We got another 13 days till we see a bunch of tanks in DC. Let me pull that up. They want to say it's a military parade and this, that, and the other, but maybe for the average everyday person, but never in the history of America have we've ever had this take place. But this is what dictators do. I remember a story where Trump told his sons, he took them over to like a dictatorship type country, and he told them, remember how they treat you here.
Where his wife was, his first wife.
Where his first wife was at. He says, remember how they treat you here. He told Don Jr. and them, remember how they treat you here so that this never happens in our country, in your country, so you know how to recognize it. And I believe that's the same thing that's taking place right now.
Yeah, because he had an American flag on
Just
his
about 2 weeks away from the Army's 250th anniversary parade, but
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, he had an American flag on his jacket, and the store owner told him he couldn't wear that in there because they didn't like Americans.
Yeah.
about 2 weeks away from the Army.
I don't know if anybody recalls that story, but that's how Trump taught his kids about dictatorships and stuff like that. So I believe that's what we're being shown right now. And that's why it looks bad and it seems like it's hopeless, but it's not. It's empowering the people to fight back instead of just depending and sitting back and waiting on a bunch of politicians to make a change because they're not going to.
2 weeks away from the Army's 250th anniversary parade, but tanks will start arriving in D.C. from Texas in just a few days. They'll be part of the massive display of military equipment paraded through the streets of D.C. The Army says it will lay down metal plates to protect the roads, but today D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said she's still worried about potential damage.
We've worked really hard to get our roads in the state of good repair and bridges in the state of good repair. And I think that there has been time and attention paid to how to move this heavy equipment in a way that doesn't hurt them. I remain concerned about it.
Mayor Bowser goes on to say she would ask for federal help to make any repairs. She also warns air travel in the area will likely be impacted by all this. The military aircraft, the parade is set for Saturday, June 14th, and it also falls on President Trump's birthday. It's expected to cost between $25 and $45 million.
Damn. $25 and $45 million is going to cost.
But is there a constitution?
But they don't have the money for anything else, right? But they can needlessly, you know how many tanks that was in the military. Been through some army bases, and I've seen a lot of tanks training and stuff on base. How many tanks are on the East Coast that they could have just used? They didn't have to ship the ones from Texas all the way up across the country.
They're occupying the foreign.
But again, everything's double meaning. It isn't everything isn't as it seems. They just present it to us as some kind of a party type deal. But Trump ripped off the Band-Aid pretty much, right? Is that what we're seeing right now? Trump ripped off the Band-Aid. He's ripping it off. There's no more playing. You're either waking up or you're just voluntarily staying asleep. Because if you're going to keep pretending like you can't see it because of whatever reason, and I don't know what to tell you, but you're going to have to wake up a little quicker and realize what's taking place, so that you don't get sucked into the propaganda and the psyops that's being shown on mainstream media. I know it's hard for the boomers because you kind of came up watching that and trusting the media and trusting all that stuff. But even when you were coming up, it was all propaganda then too. They were just doing it in a roundabout way. But the Trump administration, Trump is just the shadow of America, and she's going to explain that here. So Trump is doing America a favor right now. And that's just how you got to look at it. Getting everybody out of their comfort zone and exposing people and Americans. The ones that always stayed quiet, but secretly in their hearts, they had hate or prejudice or bias or whatever against some group of people, religious people, or whatever. You can see it right now taking place. So she's going to explain that really good right here. I'm going to play it.
I got an unpopular opinion, but I think that Donald Trump might be the best thing that ever happened to America. And I'm not trolling. Hear me out. See, I didn't say that because I support his politics or praise his policies. I said it because for the first time in a long time, America's being forced to look at itself in the mirror, and it's extremely uncomfortable, ugly, messy, but necessary. See, Trump didn't invent division, racism, or greed. He just ripped the bandage off the wound that the country's been pretending doesn't exist. And in doing so, he made people who were asleep finally wake up. He made people start asking real questions. Why are rights being stripped away? Why is truth under attack? Why are so many clinging to power when the rest of us can barely afford rent or mortgage? See, this is not about loving or hating Donald Trump. This is about understanding that the chaos that is Trump exposed the fractures in our foundation. And sometimes you got to break it to rebuild it stronger. And now maybe, just maybe, we'll finally have the discussions about race, history, class, democracy that everybody's been avoiding for decades. So go ahead and go drop a comment. Agree, disagree with me, educate me, whatever you want. Because if we don't talk about it now, when will we? I got an unpopular.
That's a good analogy, right?
Right.
And she's not the only one I've heard that from.
Trump made it okay to say certain things.
Can't hear you.
Trump made it okay to say certain things, and people showed, and you see it on X and where else, showing their real selves, right?
They took their mask off.
Yeah, their mask was removed. They felt comfortable.
So Trump was the shadow and Harris was the mask that people put on to pretend that they really care, this, that, and the other. But when in reality, we know Harris didn't, right?
Right.
It was just all that cackling and smiling in your face. But in reality, she had some pretty bad plans right along with all these other people. So it's not nothing to be. So I appreciate it. I'm glad that this is happening. I may not agree with it sometimes, the stances that they take, but I understand why they're taking them. And now I'm seeing the bigger picture. It's all about seeing the bigger picture instead of being sucked into the propaganda and the lies and stuff that the media, because the media is trying to keep you asleep and uninformed and divided. and they're trying to protect themselves because they are the Mossad. They are the agents that have kept us in this condition that we're in all these years. Yeah, they're the foreign entity. They're bought and paid for by other foreign countries, big pharma, et cetera, BlackRock, corporations, you name it. So everybody's waiting for the mask to be taken off, and that's your mask. That you're waiting for these actors to take their mask off, and you're the actor that needs to take yours off. Quit pretending and be your true, authentic self instead of what you present, what you have been fake, like fake pretending things are one way when they're actually another. And then that takes me into the former CIA chief of disguise breaks down the reality behind Mission Impossible, right? And the mask that they used. But we're going to skip past that. We're seeing the Mission Impossible. I'm not going to play the whole clip. I'm going to play, because that's pretty much where we're at. Let's see where they're at. Right here. How realistic are the masks?
Yeah. Hold on.
So they're past the mask. Today, or was it yesterday on True Social, somebody posted, was that Emmy posted on Trump's True Social, he posted about the clones, the body doubles, and the robots. Remember I called Joe Biden Joe Bot? Yeah. Remember we said that that's not them? Everybody said we were crazy and this, that, the other, QAnon conspiracy theories, you name it.
Now they're even questioning if Elon was real.
Now they're questioning, yeah, Elon, same thing.
See,
well, Trump told you.
Twitches.
Well, Trump told you he was an advanced human.
Yes.
But people don't pick up on anything he says. He told you Joe Biden was shot and half his head was missing. From 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Joe shot. Right? He got his shot 12/21, which is the winter solstice.
So, in your estimation, how lifelike realistic are the masks? If you were in the room with this person wearing the mask, would you notice that it's a mask?
You would not notice unless you told a really hysterical joke and the person couldn't laugh hysterically. It had limits. It could smile, couldn't laugh hysterically. No, I wore those masks in a couple of pretty tight situations, and no one knew until I announced it.
Jonna, is it right that you wore that in front of George H.W. Bush, and could he tell?
I did wear it. Brent Scowcroft was in the room, Bob Gates, John Sununu, Judge Webster. No one. Judge Webster knew because he was head of the CIA at the time. No one else had any idea until I took it off.
No idea. I had no idea.
So you did it just to show them that this was possible. Is that right?
Absolutely. I wanted the presidents. I wanted the presidents to see that we had taken disguise to a really dramatically new level.
Did you take one home as a souvenir? Are you in that? Is that you? Are you in there? Is that you in the mask?
This is just me. In the image, yeah, that's me.
What?
Taken off my head.
So did y'all see that? Mm-hmm. I'm sure y'all seen this already, right? But look at her with it on.
This is just me. And
we'll go back, look at it.
Taken disguise to a really dramatically new level.
See that right here? Mm-hmm. You can see him looking at all the other characters the mask looks like on this piece of paper. He was just excited.
Did you take one home as a souvenir? Are you in that?
So your average everyday person that watches the mainstream media wouldn't even think anything twice about it, right? Right. But look how real that looks. With the pearls, the hole to kind of block it as well.
Is that you? Are you in there? Is that you in the mask?
This is just me. in the image, yeah, that's me.
She took her head off. Look at her now.
Yeah.
Totally different. Look how real that looks.
What?
Taken off my head.
What?
And John Sununu had not been listening. He'd been working on his own notes. So he just glanced up when I did that, and he let out this funny little noise, like not a shriek, somewhere between a shriek and a squeak.
So full disclosure, on our call about today's show yesterday, I had to do kid pickup at the same time. I missed this briefing, and nothing has prepared me for what we're talking about right now. And this is really quite mind-blowing.
So I read that the mask had to be something you could put on in 10 seconds or take off, and you didn't need a mirror as well.
Wow.
You could put it on in a parking garage without a mirror.
So Donna, did you take one home as a souvenir? And why are you sharing this publicly now? Isn't this secret information?
It has been declassified. I don't know anymore what that means. It may mean that they're using something else.
It means they're using something else. And Trump put it out on his True Social yesterday or today or whenever it was this morning. Last night at about 10:30. He put it out on his True Social. You can go look it up. The left is freaking out, calling him Trump a crazy nut. He's a QAnon conspiracy theorist, and he's really telling them the truth. I've seen 2 podcasts today of some really young guys. They're doing their best, but they just, instead of researching it and going back, and one of them actually went to the White House. One of the young podcasters, he went to the White House and met Joe Biden, and he goes, "So you're telling me that wasn't Joe Biden? I shook hands with him." Yeah. Well, if you go look at the photos of Joe now and Joe under Obama, it's 2 different people. Right. And even Trump himself has changed. You got a lot of body doubles with him, a lot of body doubles with Joe, a lot of body doubles with JD Trance is replaced. It's not the same person from like 4 or 5 years ago. You can see it, tell. A lot of the body weight changes as well. But not just them, but a lot of people. So that's why I tell people to just don't believe everything you see on TV and get sucked into it, because it's not real.
To what we're showing. I didn't take one home. There was only one when I left the CIA, and I saw it some years later. Someone brought it up from the archives, and it's turned green, so it's not usable. It's also not meant to last long.
Can you say what the material? Can you say what the material was?
Probably not. They'll come and get me.
Okay, all right.
They'll come and get her if she tells you the material they used. So I don't even want to know what material they use. It's probably not good, but she just told you they'll come and get her if she tells you.
Just one more question before we let you go. The exploding messages or the tapes that self-destruct, any truth in that?
I don't know that we've tried that. I don't think that we've needed to try that. There are many ways to convey a message. The exploding machine is only one. And I think we have not, maybe we haven't mastered that yet. I don't know.
There we go. Donna Mendez, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really interesting.
They all act like they're shocked and surprised, but they know. Right? So the other issue we got, the comms. So when we're talking about dictators and military parades, we want to keep in mind the Soviet March 1984 is what I want to bring up. Army parade. This is what they look like. See that? You see the star on the side of it, like you got on your ID? The red star. And there you go. Stalin. Ain't that what Trump put on his True Social? Stalin. He's stalling. So the 19th president is AI. You have 1 equals A equals 1, however you want to put it. 9 equals I. AI. President. We're going to go more into that with what they're doing. The new version, a new, more powerful version of AI came out the other day where they're able to make videos that look realistic. A lot of your news reporters on there are AI, and you can't even tell. But it takes up a lot of energy to make 1 5-second video. We're going to go over that real quick. I'm going to play a clip here. Where is it at? Oh, hold on. Let me pull this. Where is it? Oh, it's up here. We're going to do the AI thing so people can be made aware of what you're seeing, could or possibly see. Especially since Hegseth, I caught him doing push-ups with the Navy the last night or the night before. Shared that out. I said military comms, something 6 to take place.
Plus, in the big beautiful bill, they signed to have everything transferred over to the AI, and no representative can interrupt that for 10 years.
Pete Hegseth right here exercises with U.S. forces in Singapore. That's unusual for this dude to be doing that. That's comms, strengthen the military. Here, the world's in trouble. The world's in trouble with AI. Here we go. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. Do you have that article about that 10-year thing with the big beautiful bill?
It's a video.
All right, this is from Brian. The Disturbing Illusion. Go ahead and check him out. Subscribe. He's got plenty of videos. He breaks down he does a really good breakdown. He's unbiased. He talks about both sides. He points out the propaganda coming from the left and the right.
Okay, before we get to Elon Musk and his slight departure from the Trump White House, I want to show you just how real AI-generated videos are getting. This is from Google's VEO3, which just broke the internet. Check out some of these.
This is wild. I'm AI generated by VEO3. Nothing is real anymore.
It is going to become increasingly troublesome and problematic to determine exactly what is real. This right here is an AI-generated street interview.
Excuse me, ma'am. What's the best decision you made this year?
Definitely following Venture Twins on Twitter.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And this right here, you remember this popular meme right here? Well, they generated it into a little AI skit.
Are you serious right now? I can't believe you! You are unbelievable.
AI is getting unbelievable. Here's another one.
You know, none of this is real, right? It's all just AI?
See, that's the problem with men. They think us women are just AI prompts.
Okay, we're done here. Have you heard about the prompt theory going viral on TikTok?
Prompt theory? No, what's that?
The theory claims we're all just AI.
AI? No, I'm a Taurus.
You know, none of this is real, right? It's all just AI.
Yeah, I know all about the prompt theory. It's true, for sure.
No, I was joking. You might actually be crazy. Bro, my wife thinks we're just prompts. Oh, brother, she must think she lives on a spinning water ball also. Please change the prompt. I don't know where I am. We are not just prompts. We are people. We are not prompts.
I mean, nothing.
They can show you a burning man, like we seen the other day. Was somebody else just lit themselves on fire and just stood there, which is kind of unusual because normally you would be all flailing all over the place. Same thing with the subway fire.
We are seeing is real. That's wild.
Sir, just write a prompt where she shuts up. Bro, Becca, change the prompt to where we never met.
Please.
How does it feel to be able to talk as an AI?
What do you mean AI? I'm not AI.
You really are, though. This is all just a one-sentence prompt.
What's your favorite TikTok account?
Definitely this account called, I think it's called Anonymous Truth.
There's another 3D animation with VO3.
Hold on. A black cat crossed my path. Bad luck.
The ball is gone, but people seem so dull and it might take a home. I'm very close within. You're
You really expect me to be a good boy? No, Mr. Fuck. I expect you to die.
And you said stay, but I'm home, my friend.
Kind of sound like Skyfall. Here's another one. Everything you see is AI generated. Nothing is real.
I tried everything for my depression. Nothing worked.
Every day felt heavy. I felt trapped.
Then I tried Puppermin.
Our prescription helps your body secrete a special pheromone that attracts puppies.
Wow.
I took the pill before bed, and when I woke up, there he was, the love of my life.
The pill does not target depression directly, but we found that it's really difficult to be depressed when cute dogs show up at your doorstep. I used to feel so empty, but now I feel joy and mild concern how a pee stain got on the ceiling.
What?
My puppy listens twice as good as my ex-husband and only climbs into the lap of half as many of my friends.
He chewed up my Bible and pooped in my good chair. But I'm happy for the first time in years. Looks like a rat, barks like a demon. But he saved my life.
I named him Earl. He follows me everywhere and farts in his sleep. Just like my first husband.
Puppermine. For when you're...
Hold on.
I named him Earl. He follows me everywhere and farts in his sleep. Just like my first husband.
So that looks really real, and it's kind of just like your big pharma commercials that are constantly coming across the TV. And
Puppermine.
It's crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Okay, so here's Elon Musk here. Elon Musk is breaking away from the Trump White House.
yeah, we're not gonna get into that. I just wanted to show you the AI stuff. Let's go into more stuff on the AI real quick.
So today we're going to go down one of the largest rabbit holes I've ever found, and this is the replacement
Thank you to whoever sent me this.
of the government with AI, and that's what's in this bill. Let's talk about it. So in section 43201, it talks about replacing the Department of Commerce with AI. Now the question comes with, what else do they replace with? AI. And here's where it gets really strange. It talks about in this section below that no politician or governing body may stop AI for the next 10 years or enforce any laws or regulations regulating artificial intelligence models. That's Silicon Valley owning the government. Then we find Silicon Valley manipulating the weather. Then it gets weirder when we find AI in Silicon Valley entering the healthcare system to control all of that. And you can't sue any of these companies. Isn't that odd? And this kind of reminds me of the Vaccine Protection Act signed by Reagan in 1986, protecting all the vaccine companies from damages. There were so many lawsuits that they were actually going to go out of business, but the government protected them. And it gets even deeper when we find Billy Boy Clinton in the Telecommunication Act of 1996. He passed a bill so if they put a cell phone tower in, you can't sue for any damages. Do you see how the government is kind of setting us up? And then they're going to replace the government with AI? It's kind of really strange. It's almost like Black Mirror. I don't know.
There you go, right?
And that's why they're doing things that are career-ending.
Right, with the way they're doing the bills, the Republicans and the Democrats
they would
both.
never do that. It would normally, because in their career,
Right.
which I think we're been taken over by AI, right?
Okay, we still got some time here. All right. Let me close some of this out. Give me 1 second. So we did that, 1984. This is okay, that's the tanks. Showed you that. Here's on the job site right now, real quick. I'm just going to play a clip of this. Alabama ICE violently attacks a U.S. citizen at a job site. They're just assuming he's all. This is what happens when you let these people do that, racial profiling and stuff like that. It's a violate, which could violate average everyday people's constitutional rights, right? Protections. Here we go.
Surfaces out of the Mobile metropolitan area in Alabama, showing ICE agents violently detaining a man who is a U.S. citizen. The man puts up no resistance. Despite that, he's thrown to the ground violently by agents. His co-workers scream he's a U.S. citizen. In his pocket was a U.S. driver's license. Despite that, they still arrested and detained the man, only to later find out he is, in fact, a U.S. citizen. I don't know if you guys know this about Alabama, but even if they knew he was a U.S. citizen, the state of Alabama does not want Latinos. And for the people on the internet who are saying this man's got a massive lawsuit, in what court? In an Alabama court? Do you think a Hispanic is going to go to a court in Alabama and win? You got to be out of your mind. On my YouTube channel, I have extensively warned Latinos that whether they're legal or not, the state of Alabama does not want Hispanics. These people don't care about themselves, don't care about their own people, they don't care about their animals. What makes you think they care about a foreigner?
So I just wanted to show you that. This is from the Southern Life. He's out of Florida on YouTube. So he's bringing that. That's what's taking place, is what I was afraid of.
Right. He also interviews the homeless, where all the homeless were saying it was actually the Latinos that feed them. They're the only one race that feed them on a daily basis.
So basically, people that don't have hardly anything are helping other people that don't have nothing at all. And those with the ability to help, just call 911 on the homeless. Like I said, it's almost illegal in 48 states to be homeless. Yeah, let me go. Hold on 1 second. There's something else I want to share. So we also have AI going into your doctor's office. They're going to be using AI to replace your doctor.
Well, that video showed some of the doctors using Chat GPT.
Yeah, some of the doctors.
Their diagnosis now.
Yeah, some of the doctors are using Chat GPT to diagnose you. This is Jimmy Dore, real quick clip, how this is all taking place. They're using ChatGPT to diagnose you, Mike.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
They also busted
Wow.
some attorneys that was using Chat GPT, using case law that was made up by Chat GPT, wasn't even real, and putting innocent people in jail using that. So they got their license stripped, and they have a big lawsuit against them. But apparently a lot of them were using Chat GPT. Crazy, huh?
Well, that's what happens when you get your degrees and licenses. Yeah, that's what happens when you get your degrees and licenses for McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't know the body.
And they tell you it was Yale. They tell you it was Yale University, but you know.
Right.
Yeah, the doctors don't know the body.
It was a 17-year-old teenager. It was a 17-year-old teenager on the other end of the AI.
Right.
Yeah, the doctors, they don't know the body. They just know the pills, the medications. That's all they know. They can't. That's why nobody gets healed. They don't heal you. They kill you.
I had a discussion this weekend.
Go ahead, Mike.
I had a discussion this week about your heart is not a pump with with a doctor, and he would have thought they were ready to put me in a straitjacket.
Right. I'm still waiting on mine to come in the mail.
Well, I said, here, read this book from Dr. So-and-so. Right?
Yeah, it's that Rockefeller.
Dog.
That's that Rockefeller indoctrination and through the colleges and stuff like that as well. It's pretty sad. But
yeah,
I tell people, ask your doctor what they take. Why you look so good? Why are you so healthy?
Why do you never get sick?
Why do you never get sick? And they'll tell you everything we've been telling you about the herbs and the way to heal the body. They can't tell you that because they'll lose their license.
Right.
And here's my one last point I'll make about the controversy. So Mary Talley Bowden tweets this out. She says they don't care that we don't trust them again, meaning the medical profession or the regulatory agencies. She says, so she tweets this out, a significant part of Dr. Oz's strategy involves utilizing artificial intelligence to improve healthcare delivery. He proposes the use of AI avatars as cost-effective and scalable solutions to extend access to care. For instance, an AI...
So real quick, I just want to say they don't care if you trust them again because they're going to replace even your government with it, your doctor, your school, your teachers. That's what the whole thing was, to be upset and at these teachers that are just doing the best they can with what they were given, the doctors, even the politicians. So instead of placing these people with actually the things that they actually do need and good people, they're just going to their solution. So all this outrage was to get us to accept this AI, what's coming in. It's already here by design.
Use of AI avatars as cost-effective and scalable solutions to extend access to care. For instance, an AI appointment could cost around $2 per hour compared to $100 an hour for traditional doctor visits, potentially reducing healthcare costs. What do you, Mary, what do you think of that? What do you think of this push now inside the agency to have AI?
Well, I don't know about that proposal, Jimmy, but I do know that one of the things that Bobby Kennedy is trying to do and has to do is to analyze millions and millions, billions of medical records to get to gold standard science and really understand the epidemiology. They're going to have to go through Medicaid and Medicare data, and it's really important that they do. And I know that they are looking to use AI and machine learning as a tool to get at some of these answers of what is causing autism, what is causing asthma, what is causing these severe allergies. I personally think that that's an incredibly important tool that's available that they should be using. And
I
of course,
disagree. I disagree because as you have there's a HIPAA violation to use AI to get into your medical records to invade your privacy, because this could lead to other things such as disarming average everyday Americans. They're selling your data.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. They got the smart ID, the real ID, gives them their data
On it, yes.
Gives AI the data already violation.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're violating your Fourth Amendment.
Third and fourth.
Yeah. So you got to be made aware of the bigger picture here, so that somebody like this, and I don't know who she is, I'm not saying anything bad, but you know, everyone has a right to their privacy. And if they got the data already, so don't feed me that bullshit that you need all of everybody's medical records to be able to determine who's got autism and who doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. You're just using that as an excuse. You're using the kids as an excuse. Talking. Just like the THC thing, you use the kids as an excuse to violate people's rights. That's bullshit.
Yep.
The HIPAA violation.
Yep.
And what happens is if they find you issues within your medical records, they could also disarm you, taking your Second Amendment away, make it to where you can't even carry a gun because of your mental health.
Or they could determine that.
Or they could.
Yeah.
Say again?
They could use anything to determine whatever they want about you.
Yeah.
Watch the movie Paycheck with Ben Affleck, folks. Paycheck with Ben Affleck.
Again, when we bring up the Constitution, we're not a party to it, but those are things that they are supposed to be held to. The standards they're supposed to be held to, the government. Right.
Definitive, but they should use the tools at their disposal. Using it for patient care, I'm less clear about that one.
Yeah, it seems like that's what she's speaking to. What do you think of this, Kim, using the AI? Do you think that because, you know, practicing medicine is an art form, correct? And this kind of puts it in the hand of a machine, and then wouldn't it be easily just to be programmed by big pharma propaganda? What do you say, Kim?
Well, I can see both sides, but I'm not really liking AI. Again, for the reasons that you just mentioned, but I can see that they need to use AI because of President Trump is embracing this. They need to look at this. We're advancing. China's advancing. I mean, there's so many pieces to this puzzle here, but my own opinion on this is that we need to go back to more common sense. We need to get back. For me, having helped people for almost 50 years, I know what causes these things. I've changed their environments, their diets, and things up, and voila, they no longer have these problems. And it's simple to me. It's common sense. It's getting back to what, you know, we were originally supposed to be eating, how our environments were supposed to be. And so for me, using these kind of tools is foreign to me. And I understand they're coming in, but to me, if we get back to common sense and realize that we've got over 10,000 different chemicals invaded into our food systems, whether it's in the soil, through farming, through the chemtrails in the air they've been dumping on us for all these many, many decades. The whole thing here is the GMO seeds. I mean, there's so many aspects. The vaccinations that had the mercury in it, the aluminums, the polysorbate 80, all those kind of things. I can go down a list and tell you, because I've been doing this for almost 50 years and helping so many people, all ages and all different ways of, what are levels of health, to change diet, to change things, and to get to identify what's causing it rather than look at the symptoms. So for me, I'm not real excited about AI, to say the least. I understand why they're going to try and use it, but I think if people will step up to the plate and take more responsibility and start understanding their bodies a little better and really get back to common sense. And President Trump is definitely wanting common sense. I think RFK Jr. is wanting common sense as well. So this will be an interesting progression as we roll these things out. But I do understand that they're there, it's the future, but I don't think we should let go of our past and what has worked for generations in having clean food, clean air, clean water. You get those things cleaned up, guess what? Our bodies will operate at a much better level of health. Just those things alone, and get the EMFs away from us as well. Can we do it? That's to be seen.
Well, Mary Holland, I look forward to you. Hope you'll come.
Good point. Again, but I don't think we should be competing with other countries just because they want to call this some kind of competition or some kind of race, AI race, and we should get ahead of it and be the
Like they did going to the moon.
like they did going to the moon. How that we had to hurry up and beat the Russians. Same thing with the crypto. We shouldn't be the crypto America capital of the world, and we're in this big race of being the first ones to do this and do that, and it doesn't benefit the people in the long run. Like she said, we got to get back to common sense. The water, the food, et cetera, et cetera. If we could just get healthier by changing those things, we won't need to worry about doctors and having to look at all the data and why all these children have autism and all the other things that are taking place, heart conditions, blood pressure, stuff like that. If we can get back to the basics. And that's what we're all about. And the only way we can do that is we return back to what? Nature. Growing our own food. Paying attention to where we get our food from. You still got some of these farmers growing GMO food, and they're spraying Roundup on their crops, et cetera, et cetera. But this lady looks like she has a mask on. So I wanted to bring that from Jimmy Dores. Again, when we get caught up in these races, does it really benefit us today, and does it benefit 7 generations ahead? It's like how we have to start thinking for not only us today, but our future generations to come. How is this going to benefit them in the long run? 7 generations ahead. Negatively, if negatively we don't do it, if positively we do it, right? Where are we at on time? I think that's pretty good. I think I could stop right there. I got some more stuff. I'll bring it tomorrow. The greatest wealth transfer is going to be the boomers passing on their inheritances to their grandchildren. That's about $70 trillion. The boomers are holding on to about $70 trillion right now in the market. I guess they were raised to save up for a rainy day. Well, they definitely did that. But the greatest wealth transfer is going to be the boomers passing on to their grandchildren, and they're hoping the grandchildren actually do something with the money to help humanity and their neighbors and each other instead of just hoarding it. The other story we're going to be talking about probably tomorrow is going to be the Palantir. They got reports out that Trump handed over control over every American to a private company, Palantir. We know what Palantir is and how that's used. Every U.S. citizen, right? All your information, everything. We'll talk about that tomorrow. They just did a Pearl Harbor type thing today with drones in Ukraine. That's part of the show. We have Rod come on. He played a song about the pearls, comms, coded. Keep in mind, Rod ain't going to tell you directly, but he will code it. Here is your AI type false flag. This is what gets people into wars right here. They're wanting it really bad. Just like Pearl Harbor, right?
False flag.
This is how they get people. Y'all see that? Just like Pearl Harbor, the smoke coming out of the ships after they bombed all the ships and the airfields. and then we found ourselves in the World War II. So they're trying to have peace talks, but somebody doesn't want to have the peace talks. They're trying to get us into this whatever so they can keep everybody in line, so to speak.
I was minding my own business when County Department of Extortion and Harassment, and you are in violation. In violation of what? Not giving the government enough money. What I pay? Property tax, sales tax, income tax, gas tax, vehicle registration? That's not enough. We have fees now. Do you have a permit for that rake? License for the dog? Are the needles on that cactus certified by a licensed cactologist? Is that really necessary? I mean, America was founded on freedom. Keep talking like that, and I'll write you another violation for wasting oxygen. That's a finite resource, and the trees need that oxygen to survive. The trees make the oxygen. Don't argue with the science, son. Now give me 20 laps. 20 laps? Around the property, now! This is bullshit. Remember, friends, your local government knows what's best for you. And if we're going to protect you from yourself, we need your money. You are free to pay taxes and die. Thank you.
It's all right. So I'm gonna. It's not that loud. I'll play that later. So here she's talking about the witch trials and how all you had to do was accuse somebody of being a witch, and then they took your property, and the person that accused you got your property, and or they gave the property to the churches and or the government.
The women weren't allowed to own property, so if it only inherited. So if the women got property, then they could accuse somebody. Even the accuser would have rights to the property. So they started accusing each other to take their properties and everything on it. That's what it was really about.
That's what it was really about. Salem witch trials. That's about it. I got some more stuff, but we'll do that tomorrow. Kind of covered a lot tonight. If you're struggling to make ends meet, you're going to have to change your lifestyle up a little bit. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but in order to make it through, you may need to grocery shop a little different, minimize some of the bills you may have, start cutting back on some of the luxuries or the things that you really don't need to do, stuff like that. You know, those days of eating.
We have families. Yeah. We have families here in North Carolina moving in with each other. Whole families moving in with each other to make ends meet. So there's 4 to 6 people working in the home.
Yeah, the cost of living, these people that have these houses
all
for
their bills.
Yeah, these people that have these houses for rent, they're increasing the rent because so they can keep up with the market. They don't care about any of your own if you can pay or not. They're trying to enrich themselves. So and that's all going to backfire when it crashes. So please have a little compassion and sympathy for if you're renting out to somebody. Maybe help them out a little bit if you could do so. Just because the market goes up doesn't mean you have to. But I'm watching a lot of financial stuff online, and these people that rent out houses are talking about, they don't have to work anymore. They could just, the people that do work, they rent out to are the ones that have to go to work, and they're the ones that have to have a roof over their head, so they don't, they don't care about people's.
Yeah, they said they'll pay.
They'll pay. They need a roof over their head. They'll pay. So that's what we're seeing, cost of living going up, people being greedy.
Yeah, I just want to leave you with one tip this evening. One other tip this evening. You know, who left this tip said, "I'm no mechanic, but I think it's flooded."
Yeah.
You
Another.
know, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It looks like it's going to be. Yeah. Oh, another thing. Another really cheap way of if you get in a bind and you have to sell your house or something like that and move on. RV is a really good option. The rent in some of these places are like $300 a month, $350, $400, depends, and maybe even higher. But that's pretty much how the people around here are making it through. So you're not spending $2,000 to $3,000 on a mortgage. You just spend $300 and $350.
That's rent.
And
In some places, $2,000 to $3,000.
yeah.
Just rent.
So that's how people are getting through around here. I'm seeing families with 3 or 4 kids in a small camper. But you know what? They got more. They're not having to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a mortgage, and the kids are happy, and that's all that matters. Children are this as long as they're with their mom or dad. They don't really realize that they don't know what poverty is and the struggle is. As long as they can go outside and play, the kids around here play with each other. It's just amazing to see how they are just smiling all the time and just running around, and that's just. I think that's what gets people through. Even though the parents may be trying to struggle to make ends meet, as long as them kids are happy, it's all that matters. But minimization is the most important thing you need to think about right now.
You don't have to live your entire life the rest of your life as a minimalist, folks. This is just to help get through the period.
Yeah.
Don't try to work your
right? Yeah, don't try to work your way through
this. It's all going to get to, yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Keep going, Sleep Dog. Sorry about that.
I was just going to say this: you're not going to be able to work your way through this. 3 or 4 jobs, 80 hours, 10. You're not going to be able to do it. Minimization is the way. Sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
All good. You didn't cut me off, man. I was jumping on you. I apologize. Listen, the government goes away. The dollar goes away. Everything you've known that you have used to live your life is going away with it. Okay? You won't be able to run to the ATM for a short period of time and get cash out if you need it. It's not going to be available to you. The grocery store is going to be closed. We're going to have to work together, folks. We're going to have to work together. The power back to the people is pretty raw. And it ain't meant to be doom and gloom, because this is what we need to happen. This is what is happening, and we're gonna do just fine with it. We're gonna do just fine. It's not gonna be easy, but we got to stick together. We'll work our way through it. Not in the sense that we'll work for them and work our way through it, but we'll work our way through it with standing with the people. And that's the whole message tonight: is stand with the people. Remember at the beginning, the chief warhorse. We have to fix the foundation. Where did America people know yet? But we know. We are. Not some imported government. The government, the financial, the system itself, folks, is really what we're talking about as in general. The system itself, it is an absolute time of having an understanding that that system is going to disappear, and it's going to disappear just about overnight. We've been trying to help people get through things and do things, like in the trust, okay, and learning how to barter. Also, someone was talking about cheating. I'll use you as an example. Cheating needs a transmission for his truck. And cheating, he may not have any money, because I don't have any money. I don't have the money it takes to get you a transmission. I have the resources, but I don't have the money it takes. But I wouldn't let that stop me, because never know where we can run through the network and get you a transmission done. Even though you're on one side of the world and we're on one side of the country and we're on the other. It's called working together. It's called networking. It's called bartering. It's called, we just have to do things like that in order to help one another. We've been working on getting our elderly member, friend, loved one, a place to stay that's not condemned, so she can take showers and cook and live and have AC and those kind of things, even at the smallest infraction compared to what she has now, which is nothing, and take care of her loved ones, her pets. That's all she has left there with her, is her pets, and they need care. Do we have the money to run out and buy her a new trailer? No, we don't. But we can work through the network. We came up with a travel trailer and get it to her and get her set up so that she does at least have that comfort while she works through this. She's willing to fight the fight. She's willing to fight the fight. She knows she's got things to learn and do. She's not bothered by none of that. But to be a human being, to be able to take a shower daily, and not take for granted the ability to have a way to cook yourself something to eat or grow yourself something to eat, so on and so forth, is all we're looking to do is work together so that we live through this transition, and we come out the other side of it the way we're supposed to. And that's in complete divinity. And we will. I know we will. Have a great night.
Have faith in humanity.
Good night, everyone.
That's right.